My name is Rhapsody and welcome back to the Bazaar. I was going to say if you can't beat him, join him, but I feel like I've been beating a lot of the Vanessas I've encountered recently. However, I'm still going to join him. Let's go, Vanessa. Also, did you see that new Vanessa skin at the very start there? It's a good one. It's also got an animation as she steps on the mine and then it explodes behind her. Very action movie hero kind of style. It's surprising. This, I think, is a rare.
We forged our own destiny.
But it has its own unique animations and also it's super cool. Of course, not like epic or legendary or like. I don't think it's diamond tier. It might even just be like silver. Wild. Start with gold, enchanted item, or a gold tier skill. Gold tier skill certainly feels like the way to get like one weapon Vanessa off the ground, because 95% of the time you're going to have some, well, I say 95, it's not 95, but a lot of the time you'll have some one of the different weapon variety skills here. Obviously coming in at gold tier, it'd give the weapon 40 additional damage if it's right-handed, left-handed. Choose an enchanted item. I feel like I could do that. Gold tier skill gives so much direction that I'm worried that it would prevent me from really getting to play the game, whereas like choosing an enchanted item can do the same as well, depending on what you get. Alright, I'm gonna go for the only option I didn't want to go for. I have to force myself to do that, I feel like, from time to time, because otherwise I will just always pick the same exact option. JJ sells items. And then, of course, I won't be able to learn about all the beautiful things you can do with things like bolus. Every 5 seconds, deal 40 damage and slow an item. I'll also reload that with a powder flask and give it 10% crit chance. I mean, look, if JJ's going to give me all three of those, what am I going to do? Like, say no? Coral armor. When you buy another aquatic item, this gains shield. You are selling 2 more aquatic items right next to it. I just don't feel like 6 seconds shield gain is really a thing. I'll hold on to this. This will be enough to get me through a couple of fights at least. Not necessarily against the end of game. Dive drone. If you'd like to give me trained, you'll heavily direct the rest of this run. It's good that I'm playing the early game character and good that I'm playing the kind of like, you know, aggressive character here because I have, again, not so much time to record here. So I'm very much trying to make this a speed run. I'm not going to be spending an incredible amount of time deliberating on any choice. I gotta make choices and go with them. Jungle Ruins. I do like a silver tier item, but also like its weapons.
My battle days are over, but my weapons crave more.
From where I'm standing, it's weapons. Manta Shrimp. Every 9 seconds, deal 20 damage and burn 2. When you slow, this gains 10 damage and 1 burn for the fight. If I got the slow modifier there, I might have done that. Cutlass deals double crit damage. We do have the Vanessa's Amulet, so we have the ability to do some crit, but like, realistically, you just want a mess of weapons on the board if you're doing weapons Vanessa like that. So I guess I take it. Grenade. Every 5 seconds, deal 50 damage and crit chance of 25%.
Go make some more stories, then come back and tell me.
35% with the Vanessa's Amulet next to it. I'm going to be reloading it as often as it fires. And wait, Bolus has 10% crit chance by base? No, it's just showing the crit chance it would have if it went on field, courtesy of the Vanessa's Amulet. Got it. And then I'm looking to make some sort of investment play here on the final. Gosh, did I pick up a friend or a toy? I don't think I did. No, that's unfortunate. Heading to Andy for the possibility of upgrading Grenade Hand Axe, the Vanessa's Amulet, possibly even Bolus would change my mind on what I'm running on board.
You've just taken the first step toward good taste.
Zorkid. Every 7 seconds, deal 20 damage, and then haste adjacent items 1 second. When you burn, charge this 1 second. There's that and the lighter, which is a small burning tool. I don't feel like without an early skill, this is really going to do anything. Like, I kind of want to buy Zorkid and Lighter and just hold on to them in case I start seeing support for it. Because those two together, like, Zorkid hasting Lighter and then Lighter charging Zorkid, put another burn item on the other side, and then suddenly you've got a package that does damage as well as increases its own speed over the course of combat. I'm gonna be honest, I don't expect to win this first day. I do think this is what I'm supposed to run. I could cut Vanessa's Amulet for some more damage from Bolus. Actually, increasingly, that seemed like a good idea here, I think.
We're out to dethrone a king, not to squabble with nobodies. You should know, I'm a bit of a legend.
Oh, they have a shield and a healing item. That's trouble for us. Guess it really depends on whether or not grenade crits here. Maybe? Maybe it doesn't depend on that at all. Yeah, it doesn't seem to depend on that even slightly.
Next time, boys, less blunder, more plunder.
Okay, made it through day one, to be fair. It was largely based on the fact the enemy wasn't running items. Not items that had any appreciable impact, at least. Medium tier items can be sold. I mean, selling out of the Cutlass, considering what I'm currently trying to do, maybe seems like a good idea with Midsworth. Interesting.
Right. Back to business.
Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of the Cutlass. At least I'm getting back what I paid for it.
Medium is the size of dignity.
I'm gonna upgrade the Powder Flask, because as long as I now just keep this forever, I will always have access to being able to permanently reload one item. Or, sorry, fully reload one item. Assuming it's not using more than 2 ammo in 5 seconds. So, like, if it's an Uzi, I guess it might have trouble. Clamora, slows an item at the start of the combat. I do like having this, just because it's at start of fight, use this. So anything that says first time you use an item triggers immediately when the Clamora's on the board. It's just also not really going to have an actual impact here. I kind of want to roll, but it's very expensive to roll here. I'm going to buy the Clamora because it's only 1 gold if I have to sell it and don't want it. But, like, I think I might appreciate having that Clamora at some point in the future.
But I must be the cheapest.
Keen Eye, 4% crit chance across the board, or 2 different ways of getting additional poison. Certainly looking for either weapons or burn. The other options here, so I'll roll. There comes our burn and our weapons. Immolating Spark, your leftmost burn has +2 burn. There is also Fiery, your burns have +1 burn. And then finally, Right-Handed. Your rightmost weapon has +20 damage, which I'd probably propagate across to the grenade. I'm going to go with Fiery.
I spent half my life mastering that technique.
Giving us the ability to try and scale towards having a second burn item on board and then really benefiting from it. Specifically, it's volcanic vents, the ones that are shown in the background of Zorkid's art. Racetrack. Transmuting something isn't particularly powerful right here. Unfortunately, Quicksil's also expensive to roll, so I think I'm just going to pick up the haste item, because haste items are good. Haste items can be good, is what I meant to say. Gosh. I'm not certain I do enough damage to take down the Rogue Scrapper here. You're healing 60 every so often. My burn's negligible. I'm going to run out of damage on the bolus. Every 5 seconds, we're doing... let's imagine it's got 25% more damage on top of it, so like 12.5 more damage. Yikes. Like, round that to 70. Boy. Yeah, I feel like I'm best suited to the Covetous Thief or the Giant Mosquito. Let's go to the Covetous Thief. A little bit more opportunity to make money at the Covetous Thief. Also, the skill that will help us get additional money over the course of the entire run. Useful. I'm certainly still not locked off in terms of what builds I'm capable of running here. haven't got too much of a lean in any one direction. Having the 2 additional income is certainly helpful here, though. Without that, I do feel like I'd be kind of lost. Safe. Cool. Sells for 3, but if you sell it to the right person, you can sell it for more. Finn's Big Bite versus Battlefield versus Kev's Armory. I kind of want to go to Kev's Armory just because sometimes he holds a shielded item. And if he holds the right shielded item, it would be incredible for us. The thing is, he also has health item, not relevant. Most shield items won't be relevant to me. Finn's Big Bite giving 3 regen is actually pretty relevant. I'm saving my money for the final store here instead then. Sharpening Kit, Jungle Ruins, and JJ. Jungle Ruins again gives us the opportunity to get a silver tier item here. JJ.
A friend. I mean, a customer.
Yeti Crab. When you freeze, adjacent poison items gain +1 poison for the fight. Only super relevant if I was running poison, obviously, but the relevance of this mainly comes into play when you have a elemental depth charge on the field, which is freezing and also poisons. So it does both at the same time. There it is. Volcanic Vents. Very glad to see it. Also Repeater. Interesting. Repeater's enchants got changed recently, I believe, making it significantly better. And no. What got changed about Repeater? It got given more damage and it... Oh, yeah, it got given more damage. That's what's different about Repeater. Cool. I don't think this is really an ammo build. I've got 2 ammo items. They would trigger Repeater a little bit, but, like, yeah, I'm not reloading anything on the board. Other than the powder flask, obviously. Yeah, it's the Volcanic Vents. It's literally what I was asking for. Why would I turn it down now? Let's get rid of the Stinger and Vanessa's Amulet here. Take on board those vents.
How about this weather where... Oh, you're leaving. That's good.
So every 7 seconds, they burn 3 with a multicast of 3. They will have multicast of 3, giving 3 seconds of charge to the Zorkid, which will then give it back. Now I just need to increase my burn damage. I suspect I'm capable of building burn damage on a target right now, and I do think that's probably more impactful than the bolus and the hand axes here. But I also don't think I'm particularly strong today. I didn't think that yesterday. I still don't think I was strong yesterday. I just happened to win the fight there. This one seems less likely with right-handed and left-handed on board. Good lord. Like right-handed, left-handed, and Longshot. Basically, my burn would have to be absurd to have a chance here. Like, I burn for 10, take another 100. I've got some regen, which actually kept me alive there, hilariously. Not for long enough, though. We managed to get through one of their life bars with the life preserver, so, I mean, I'm just saying. Not too far from viability. Ooh. B1, B2, upgrade a bronze tier item. That is 100% going to be the Zorkid.
Smart shoppers buy vintage. New is for...
Ooh, the keener the blade, the quicker the fight.
Bronze tier ammo, bronze tier loot and 2 gold. Bronze tier loot and 2 gold certainly sings. Ooh, especially when it gives us cooldown reduction. Max HP does matter right now, and I am playing Vanessa, so I do like one opportunity to pick it up. Give me 150. Nice. And I'm pretty sure we can take the eccentric out of the way. Also, very glad to have now not only Zorkid, but the Beach Ball, because if the Tiny Furry Monster turns up on the other side of the day, I can hit my level 4 level up on time. Which would be nice. I don't know if fielding 2 more items would have saved me in the previous PvP fight, but it certainly wouldn't have hurt.
But the Bazaar will go dark without me!
And rigged. It's rigged! At the start of each fight, haste 2 items, 3 seconds. Insane hit. It's one of the many reasons that fight is impossible to turn down. Day 3, going for a random skill. I think I will. Burn item, please. Burn, burn, burn. Right, most poison, and MS plus 2 poison. It's entirely possible a poison item ends up on this board. I'm just mad about it. We'll be heading to Barkun, who is...
Acorns.
Oof.
Home.
It's actually a pretty early day for those things to turn up. That's a friend. That's a tool. They increase the damage of flagship. Tool, property, ammo, friend. I could absolutely field all of those. Tool, friend, ammo. Don't have a property, but wouldn't necessarily need to field one here. I sell the safe and then all of the items inside of it for a +2. I'll sell hand axe and bolus. Is flagship with 3 multicast worth it here? I don't like flagship. Little secret about me. I don't really like flagship. I don't think it's that good. Boy. Okay, I know what I'm gonna do. I will take flagship. I do think grenade and beach ball are less impactful than fielding a flagship here. There we are. I'm ready to leave this build if it proves to be awful, but let's give it a shot. Especially the fact that I have haste at the start of the fight makes it feel like this might be appropriate, because, like, waiting for the first 7-second trigger of your flagship to come off naturally, off its actual cooldown, nightmare. That's a lot of weapons. I feel like I'm gonna collapse. Yeah, I would have needed lifesteal to get through that. Oh, never mind. Right-handed and strength, so plus 20 damage to all weapons and plus 40 damage to one of them. Yeah, going for the gold tier skill certainly seems appropriate for aggression. Upgrade to bronze tier. If I'm honest, I want to hit the lighter because I do suspect I'm going to be moving back away from the flagship because I just don't think it does enough damage. 7 seconds do 200 damage, and that's not enough. Uh-oh. That's not a fight. Throwing knives when you equip with another item. Charge this. Boy. I even went for the HP, and it wasn't enough. I'm going to check out Keener and hope that I get some direction here. Cannonball. Adjacent items have 2 max ammo. Not really what I'm looking for. Obviously, grenade should have been over there. Whoops. Try and tell me it would have made a difference. You'll be lying. Barrel. When using adjacent non-weapon item, this gains 10 shield for the fight. Using volcanic vents in order to charge up the barrel a little bit makes some sort of sense. Maybe if it was silver tier. Hop snappers. A small toy which burns. And there's also wanted poster. When you finish a fight, if it's against a player, get experience. I gotta be honest, I really want pop snappers. More than grenade.
I'm so glad we could share this experience today.
So that's adding to the critical mass of burn things that we have on board, giving additional speed to the Zorkid and stuff like that, but also, if I happen to find the Crow's Nest, which obviously the flagship cares about, I would easily be able to keep Pop Snappers as my ammo item that is still triggering this without having a second weapon on board, so I could get lifesteal on the flagship. Ooh, Blood Reef Raider. If you turn up like this, I have to take you, don't I? I don't think I beat Flame Juggler. As much as I would like to level up right now. Blood Reef Raider, you have Crow's Nest. You have Crow's Nest and you have Ammo Stash. You certainly have more things I'm interested in than the Boiler Room Brawler at the moment.
Brooks, no!
See, it just feels really unimpressive. I picked it up on day 3, which is the second day it's available, and oh boy. It's really not pulling its weight. Just put 3 other weapons in that field? I'm certain I would be happier about that. Invulnerability potion. You take no damage for 1 second. The first time you fall below half health each fight, use this. Probably more impactful than Clamor for us at the moment, to be honest. I don't see the value in going to Colts. Especially with as little money as I have, so I'm gonna head elsewhere and then go to Lost Crate for a skill. Really? Alright, I should leave myself open to pivoting out of what I'm currently doing, and the way that I do that is by holding on to Clamora, Zorkid, Vault Vents, Lighter, Pop Snappers, holding on to all of those and giving myself the ability to possibly move in the direction of Elemental Depth Charge when it turns up. Because it's really powerful when it turns up, rather than really weak when it turns up like the flagship seems to be. I know 7 seconds for 200 damage doesn't seem like it should be weak, but it's taking off the ability to synergize with other items on your board, and it's also an anti-synergy, because it's asking me to field things I don't want otherwise be fielding at the moment. Yep. Yeah, yep, that's how that goes. Well, I'll tell you, this certainly seems like it's gonna be a speed run.
Now this is how
Argenta,
you win a
please.
war.
Your weapons have +4 damage for each weapon you have? No. Your weapons, when they are used, give adjacent weapons +3 damage. Minimal impact unless I was going full weapons. I'm gonna sell the medkit and roll. There's insane hits here that could be achieved. Shatter, when you freeze, your weapons gain 10 damage to the fight. No. Bolt under pressure, the first time you fall below half health each fight. Haste to items. And then Conflagration, the one I'm gonna go for. When you use an item with burn, that item gains +1 burn for the fight. I'm moving out of the direction of the flagship. We got the support for the Zorkid build that we were trying to do, and now the flagship is in our way.
Warful.
Actually, like getting that illusory ray right there.
Friend, but I'm glad you bought this.
Life Preserver is near the end of its, like, active use lifetime here. But it's only near the end. It isn't done.
Use that for the good of all.
Especially in burn builds. Ooh, well, that's interesting. Burn builds don't really want Water Wheel. Water Wheel and Pearl both turning up at the same time is the offer to haste a full board consistently, though. That's hard to turn down. So Water Wheel, when used in adjacent item, charges 2 seconds. I'd put it adjacent to the Volcanic Vents and Pearl. Volcanic Vents is getting haste. Pearl is obviously triggering a charge every time you use another aquatic item. The entire board would get haste very consistently. I would be introducing 4 slots to the board, so in order to account for that, I'd have to take the Illuso Ray off. I'm holding this here because, like, Burn and Slow form a package together for a lot of Vanessa's Burn and Slow items. So having a hold of those seems like a good idea. I don't really want to sell those. Could theoretically get rid of these. Pop Snappers probably should be gone from there too. But then what am I reloading? Like, literally, I have the slots otherwise. So I can free up 8 gold. I can free up 12 gold. 12 gold gets us to 14, which is just short. I'd have to also sell the Illusoray Ray. Permahaste to the entire board. How could that be wrong? Very easily, as it turns out. I'm doing it.
Your aura guided guided me to what you needed.
Please give me a fight. Please. No. I need to fight. Trash Town Mayor, you are very easy to beat and you have the most resources, so I'm sorry to say that this is your time.
Talk to my advisor, Mr. Barkington.
Yep. We pretty comfortably secured perma-haste for our board.
See? My opponent resorts to violence.
And that's even without leveling up the water wheel. Oh, augmented defenses. When you sell a small item, your shield items get +1. This early game, and especially without an active item to use the docks, you go study.
Rally, men! Blades to the wind!
I don't have a reason to care about gunpowder right now, so I'm going for the same option I always go for. And I'm a little low on money, so I'll take the free haste item, thank you. Oh, it's a fishing rod. Possibility of getting a bunch more pearls, maybe? Oh, could be fun. Fishing rod, by the way, at the start of each day, get a small aquatic item. It also can be fielded, but it's not better than any of my items. They did make it better recently.
We're out to dethrone
Every 5 seconds, it hastes
not
the
to
aquatic item to
squabble
the
with
right of this. 3 seconds, I believe it is. Uh-huh, this is Bug Dooley. Not Bug Dooley, interesting. Balanced friendship, but you've got a nanobot, but you haven't got the other guy. You nanobot, but no DJ robot? Buddy, what are you doing? I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying I don't understand. We want to fight. Unfortunately, we didn't have the wanted poster, but we did have to get rid of that in order to win the fight. Zorkid can get removed from this board pretty quickly, because pretty quickly it'll reveal that haste from Water Wheel is more than enough. I will say it is also possible we get rid of Water Wheel and just decide that we only care about 2 of the items being hasted in the first place. Illuso Ray. Regenerative Tincture, Mandala, and Isla. I'm going to hit up the Regenerative Tincture because I don't think the other ones are especially useful for us consistently. Midsworth! I kind of want to sell Midsworth the fishing rod, if I'm entirely honest with you. Guardlock, you get a small shield item, another copy of Pearl, maybe? Go for the Pearl Infinite? No, I want to save my money for the other side of the day and characters that I'm more reliant upon. Medium tier items are pretty damn relevant to me. Oh wow, it was another Pearl, but unfortunately, it's not a different tier. I can't beat Lich, so Foreman or Dire Mosquito. I'm gonna go for the Foreman. So I need more burning aquatic items. Like, I know what I want. What I want is, it's Lighthouse, it's Shipwreck, it's upgrading my Clamra. It's these things. Oh, Flashing Mechanic when used at all. Items adjacent to it gain 6% crit chance. So the Hand of Blast is giving crit chance to the Pop Snappers, and the Lighter is giving crit chance to the Zorkid, but unfortunately nothing in the middle is toys, and those have to be on the outside, as I've currently set this up. 6.8 seconds to cast 3 times means that you are casting, yeah, more commonly than the Lighters, certainly, because it would take 9 seconds for the Lighters to cast 3 times. Alright. I mean, I take it, there's no reason not to.
Tyrant's whole
There's like an edge case reason not to, but I'm not particularly interested. Argenta, Silver Tier skills, the possibility of getting an upgrade on Conflagration from her, while small, is certainly important. I'm gonna hit the upgrade on Water Wheel, because it's good right now.
The cleaner the blade, the quicker the fight.
Wait, sorry, what? Did you upgrade 2 different things, Water Wheel? No. Okay, yeah, it just lowered its cooldown. That makes sense. That's what it was supposed to be. I misread something. Send to Barkun, see what he's about.
Small people. I love them all.
Sextant, when you crit, haste 1 item 1 second, adjacent items have 15% additional crit chance. No, thank you. I care about things that care about when I crit. No, sorry, I care about things that care about how many times I haste. Like, I have haste and I don't have crit. This is the opposite of the tool that I need right now. Whoa. Hort. Reload all your items, 1 ammo, and charge them 1 second at the start of the day. Get a small ammo item from any hero, or Ramrod. Your ammo items have plus 20% crit chance, and when one of them runs out of ammo, charge this 1 second. There is a completely different world where I'm, like, over the moon to be here. Submersible deals 24 damage, then you shield, equal to this item's damage. If you have another vehicle or a large item, reduce this item's cooldown by 50%. I could replace the flask and the pop snappers with that. That's a lot of my damage, though. Like, it's a lot of my damage. Every 2 seconds, this is firing off for a burn amount.
Oh, okay. Maybe next time?
Oh. Early Big Forger.
Let's get those guns hammered out.
I mean, yeah, it's gotta be getting Water Wheel to Diamond Tier then. So now it's down to 8 seconds for Water Wheel to go off. Now I need to work around, okay, what do I do with a Water Wheel? And when I start thinking about having too much haste as Vanessa, I immediately think about the fact that they buffed Catfish to high heavens.
You should know.
So
I'm
high,
a
in fact, that they then nerfed Catfish, and he's still very powerful right now. The additional scaling he gets from gaining haste is increased from previous patches. And then it was hotfixed down, but still. Ooh, lifesteal and shield gain. Now burn scales, though. So I am interested to see how this goes. Yeah.
You've got talent. You should put it toward nobler use.
I mean, fully set up for that with your skills. You've even got a wanted poster on board to call your shot. Silencer and submarine. This worked out surprisingly well for us. I actually am interested in Isla's selling weapons. I just realized, you know what wants to be on this board so damn bad? Arbalist. Shark Ray, God forbid?
Few warriors live to retire. Buy my weapons, and you might.
Sharklaw's also got buffed. Would have loved to see this a little bit early game. 5 seconds, deal 20 damage, and then your weapons gain 20 damage for the fight. Also Cutlass and Throwing Knives. Roll, roll. Nope. Musket's the closest to what I would want here. 6 seconds to deal 100 damage, crit chance of 100%. When you burn, reload this 1 ammo. That said, that's like a static impact on the board of 200 damage every 6 seconds, which we just saw 200 damage every 7 seconds from Flagship isn't enough. Of course, this constricts our board much less. I think I have to take apart the way that I am. Also, by the way, Javelin would have reloaded on haste, which is also a thing I do very commonly. It's just they also would have been very slow, so I would have gotten much less out of my haste triggers. Bakun!
As a GSM master merchant, I can sell you things.
Thank you, Bakun. Figurehead. Aquatic items left of this have their cooldowns reduced by 10%, and weapons to the right of this have plus 25 damage. I am going to be buying that. I'm also going to be upgrading the volcanic vents, despite the fact that it only gets 1 more burn. It is, to me, important. Sell. I do think at this point I should probably sell the pop snappers, but I don't think I can sell the powder flask. Maybe I don't sell anything right now. So Figurehead has lowered the items left cooldown by 10%. When this gets upgraded to Diamond tier, that will be 30% lower cooldown, which is going to be absolutely absurd. Gives out much more haste charges to the entire board. Realistically, our main problem is that our damage comes from conflagration, and conflagration comes from the items being used. So we need our board to start going before we even survive anything. Like, we don't really have survival. We don't really have immediate impact on board. Slowing down our enemy, courtesy of maybe Bonk from Thug, would be super useful for us.
Nobody gets hurt.
Nice.
Okay.
We were actually really close to dying right there. Oh, spices. Your weapons gain damage equal to your weakest weapon's damage for the fight.
Full sail, my boys!
All right, what are we going to do about this? Orlin teaches gold tier skills. Professor Wriggle teaches poison skills. Zara teaches haste and charge skills. Now, there's actually something I want to check. There's a skill that's been introduced into the game recently that says when you haste a burn item, if that burn item already had haste, increase its burn. And I need to know if that's only a dually skill. So it is a burn and haste reference skill. Interesting. Apparently nothing in the game exists that is burn and haste reference, so I imagine it's burn reference and haste then? Also no. Burn reference, haste reference? There it is. Oh, it is dually only. How dare you? Dually wants this. When one of your burn items gains haste, if it already has haste, it gains 1, 2, or 3 burn for the fight. Obviously would have been the best kind of pickups there for us. Professor Wriggle, Zara, teaching haste and charge skills. Haste and charge skills still are fine because I do have rigged, so I do haste at the start of the fight. So worst case scenario, like hopefully I just find when you haste, your item gain 2% crit chance for the fight. Admittedly, that is actually really good for us. I don't think I can turn that down. That is actually get to 100% crit chance pretty quickly. Finn's Big Bite. I do have some money in my inventory courtesy of that spices. I could also transmute that spices though, so maybe I want to hold on to it. We'll see as long as I can hold on to it comfortably. Nordic is selling aquatic items, which is the subset I care about the most right now. Hello, Shipwreck. All right. God damn it. Gosh dang it. We're going to have to figure out a different build. Shark Ray. When you haste, this gains 20 damage for the fight. I do think I should take Figurehead off board for that because this is already much more powerful. It will actually give me damage to this build, which this is funny. Doesn't have it. Boy, how do I want to do this? Spices could be a fun multiplier here, but I don't think I'll have the time. Shipwreck is also here. Your aquatic items have 10% crit chance and 1 multicast. Like, it's definitely... I feel like I should have both of those on field, which means that I need to free up a lot of space. Giving +1 multicast to aquatic items does mean basically anything that's non-aquatic. It's not going on that board. That's an easy 13 we can free up over there. Boy. So if I'm not burning anything, the Zorkid's not doing anything. The Zorkid's not doing... Like, it feels like Volcanic Vents needs to be on the field, but then if I take the Figurehead off in order to put the Shipwreck... Shipwreck could go on the field, I guess, but then, like, Shipwreck's getting hasted by Zorkid wouldn't make any sort of sense. Shark Ray only wants to go on the board when I am doing something degenerate already with Water Wheel. Ideally, Shark Ray, Shipwreck, and Water Wheel would exist in the same build. The only thing is there's only 2 other items on that board, so what are those 2 items? The fastest activating aquatic items in the game? Let's get rid of the fishing rod. So I need to get 32. That's another 16 on offer right there. 16 takes us to 27. 29. Yeah, I can get to 32. So my cold shot here would be that... Oh, God. Is it really Clamora? Because it's at start of fight, use this that I'm interested in. So Clamora has multicast on at start of fight, use this, which means 2 aquatic items are used adjacent to the water wheel, giving it 4 seconds of charge. Then the Pearl is also given 2 seconds of charge. Also, 2 hastes occur on board from Rigged. So really soon, our build starts cycling. Downsides here, Shark Ray does not have a huge amount of damage. Volcanic Vents I really wanted to stick with, but I honestly do not see it anymore.
Thank you.
I can't have too many passives on the board. I need targets to be hasted.
Defeat the Tyrant King.
I really wish Clam was upgraded at this point. Good lord, complete flip of the build there, but I do think it's the right idea. I mean, yeah, please experience. Please, absolutely, please experience. Getting towards our enchant so that we can hit that on the Shark Ray, especially if it's... I mean, Shark Ray or Shipwreck. Shipwreck does just carry whenever you use an aquatic item do X. So if this has haste on it, then suddenly, boy, Shark Ray gets nutty.
Go ahead. Underestimate me. It makes
The fact that
this
we
more
activate
fun.
at start of fight and also haste at start of fight is really the kind of saving grace of this run at the moment. If I was doing that, like, if I was doing this build without that, we'd be dead. Yeah, the shark gets bigger quite quickly. And it's also on its lowest level. I think it doubles. I think it's 20, 40, 60 for its let me quickly check for its scaling. Yeah, when you haste, this gains 20, 40, 60 damage for the fight. So the silver tier upgrade to this is going to be huge. Or rather, the gold tier upgrade from silver. Tatiana sells toys from any hero. I really only care about aquatic items at the moment. You do have an aquatic toy. It's called Model Ship, and it gives additional multicast to adjacent toys, which is irrelevant to us. Yeah, only thing I can do here is the sharpening kit, thank you. I mean, it gives us some money back, which is the... Build a B2! I think this might actually be the last day they can turn up, but they just gave Clamora 2 additional targets to slow. Great. I would also love to see Curio, specifically in order to increase the duration of the Clamora slow. Also, speaking of Clamora's slow, you have a... I believe yours is... No, you don't even have a Clamora! You should have Clamora with this build with your Thick Hide. Thick Hide I would love to have. When you slow charge one item 1 second. At the start of the fight, the Clamora, imagine it at Diamond tier, charging 8 items 1 second. Also, all the while, we are getting crit from static acceleration, so the Shark Ray is eventually also just doing double damage by base. Piranha. Piranha. 6 seconds, 12 damage, not relevant at all. 2 gold, silver tier loot item, looking for cooldown reduction or experience. We'll take experience. There is nothing wrong with experience. I'll sell that vial of blood. I am very much looking here in middle, though, for...
I want what's right for you.
Not those, as it turns out. Captain's Wheel. If you have a vehicle or a large item, reduces items cooldown by 50%. That said, Water Wheel is getting reduced by other items going... I don't think Captain's Wheel can replace Water Wheel. Water Wheel is only hasting 3 targets. Captain Wheel would be hasting 2 targets. Has a 2.5 second cooldown because I do have a large and a vehicle on board. Gives us the ability to field another item as well. Oh, I'm mad at how much I think it could be better. I don't think it is right now. But I honestly believe the only reason it isn't better right now is because is because I don't have a small item that would really justify it. If I get another small item that really wants to be on this board, Captain's Wheel is the way that I can fit them there. That's fun. Diving Helmet every 6 seconds, shield 25 when you use an aquatic item. This gains 5 shield for the fight, and adjacent items are aquatic. It's a fun bridge piece for builds, but I would have to know exactly what I'm doing with it before I care about it. Realistically, I came to this shop just looking for Wanted Poster or the upgrade to Shark Ray. I gotta be honest, I'm gonna go to Isla and look just for the Shark Ray upgrade. Sell Piranha, roll. Trebuchet. When you use another weapon or haste. Charge is 2 seconds. I do have Zorkid still. This isn't even gonna burn that much. No, I don't believe in that.
I hope you live long enough to reconsider.
Also, like, let's consider, I would be selling all of my items to get it. It's okay, I'm just gonna plug my controller into the second slot, we'll be fine.
Not to squabble with nobodies. I may be young for a captain, but I've seen my...
Oh, those are weapons? Good lord. I'm glad I got... Oh my god. Not only are those weapons, you've got Uzi and a Twaddle from outside of your class. Those are problematic weapons. Please kill Shark Ray.
Like
Get him.
Crew says at the bar. Another round.
All right, one more day's worth of movement, or 1 more hour's worth of movement after this. We'll get our level up. If it's not good on the Shark Ray, it will probably be good on the Shipwreck and vice versa. I'm going to look at the opening shop for Nautica, just in case it has the Shark Ray in. It does not. Do I roll the possibility? Yes. Dive weights. Reach adjacent aquatic item. Reduces item's cooldown by 1 second. It has multicast additional to its ammo. Does that justify Captain's Wheel? Like, this, and then dive weights goes there. It would have 6-second cooldown. Start of the fight, the clamor goes off twice. 2.5 seconds into the fight, the Captain's Wheel goes off twice, giving additional haste to the dive weights, which then gives it to other items. The dive weights can't get reloaded by anything, but they themselves, on their first trigger, haste 4 items, and I can increase that with additional ammo. I honestly think that's better than Water Wheel.
Little secret? You're the only air breather I like.
Now this is how you win a war.
What? Okay, first off, Water Wheel. Yeah, I figured this would be the case. Water Wheel. When you use an adjacent item, burn 2.
Then the Tyrant King came to establish order. His order.
The problem is Conflagration says when you use an item with burn, that item gains +1 burn for the fight, but the additional... This item does get used. It's just... It's when I use an adjacent item to trigger its burn, that won't increase it. But when the Water Wheel is used, it will increase its own burn. I mean, if I had a reason to care about burn... And then there's Fiery. There is also the shipwreck. When you use an adjacent item, burn 3. Sorry, when you use an aquatic item, rather, burn 3. The problem with that being I would never be able to increase the burn on that. Courtesy of conflagration, because shipwreck is never used. It is only triggered because it has passives rather than users. This is annoying. What about Captain's Wheel? Yeah, it just burns 4, irrelevant, and Shark Ray will obviously just be burned for 10% of the damage Shark Ray does. I almost feel like Shipwreck is the one that should go off the field. Because, like, oh god, it takes so many casts off the field. But if I did that, then Pearl and Clamra are opposite sides of the water wheel. No, multicast is so strong. It literally doubles the scaling we get from other sources. And also, so it doubles the scaling that Shark Ray sees, but then also doubles the damage that Shark Ray does, which, like, how could I possibly turn that down? Alright, I'm gonna pause and figure this out. Alright, I'm back from outer space. I think the best way to do this is Burning Caldara on Shark Ray. Like, yes, I could scale the additional burn that is provided by the water wheel, but realistically, the water wheel gets used, like, what, 3 times in a combat? 3 times in a combat? And that's enough? No. I don't think so. I will keep Captain's Wheel and Dive Weight. I don't think they're better yet. When Dive Weight gets some additional ammunition, I do believe it will be. Zorkid's irrelevant to this board. Yes, Zorkid would have been insane if I had the Shipwreck with the aquatic multicast, but realistically, like, we need to focus on how we deal damage, and that is Shark Ray. So I deal damage with Shark Ray, so I want as many haste triggers as possible. I get as many haste triggers as possible by causing Water Wheel to go off as many times as possible. I could also cause the Zorkid to go off as many times as possible with burn charges, but what is it replacing? Clamra? Pearl? Zorkid instead of Pearl in this position when Shipwreck has burn. Actually, I think that would have been possibly better. I literally figured that out right after I did a different thing. That's fine. That's fine. I don't think it's that much better, to be honest. Small aquatic item. Why don't you just give me another Clamra upgrade, please? No, thank you. I'll take the coral, though. Weapons platform. Huge hit for us here. When you use a large item, haste 2 small items 2 seconds. So that's 4 more haste triggers coming out of Water Wheel every time it goes off. Because it goes off twice, you see. Yeah, here's the real problem. Getting frozen before the second swing of Shark Ray is pretty lethal for us. Cog, every 4 seconds, haste and Jason item 1 second. If it were aquatic, maybe.
Welcome in, hon. What can I get you?
Javelin, when you haste, reload this one ammo. It's got 240 damage. Wow. Certainly can't field it, though. Oh, Figurehead is back and I can't use it. Volcanic Fence is back and I can't use it. Why must we torture me?
Every item finds its buyer. It's a relationship, you know?
Shrouded Figure. I certainly have 10 gold I can free up to go to
I
you.
will tell you who set the Bazaar.
Rally, men! Blades to the wind!
I honestly don't believe Malafong's burn skills are going to be better than Old Zane for us here. Old Zane, ideally, I'm looking for aquatic items reduce cooldown. Oh my god.
His bones sink to the bottom.
That's as reduced as they get. Diamond tier Barnacle Crusted. Reduce the cooldown of your aquatic items by 20%.
You got a Corsair spirit.
Oh, man. Ooh. That's gonna be good.
We're out to dethrone a king, not to squabble with nobodies. Go ahead, underestimate me. It makes this more fun.
Oh, they are freezing, but thankfully it's only small items they can target with that. Unfortunately, I do actually still need my small items to go off to charge my large items.
Bring her about! I've got another salvo with me.
Gratefully, despite the fact that they were doing that, the freezes mainly come out of Ice Pick, which actually could have targeted anything. Yeti Crab also could have targeted anything. Paralytic Poison and Creeping Chill could have targeted anything, but they only went for the small ones. We actually got pretty lucky with what they targeted there. That's double lighter either side of the captain's wheel without a vehicle or a lot. This is a very interesting board. It looks like they want a vehicle pretty badly, but just haven't been able to find the right one. Yeti Crab to scale up the Toxic Pops? I've never seen this board before. I love it. Okay, I'm gonna go to JJ.
Person, and sometimes happy to make a sale. Sad to say goodbye.
You surely upgrade the dive weights when it's offered. I'm not fielding a loser ray again, thank you. Monster Ranch 100% for cooldown reduction on the boy. Oh, 6% for a single item or 6% for all of them. Now, first things first, let's get this clear. Multiplication is commutative. I know that multiplication is commutative. Every time I do this little trick I'm about to do, I get people telling me, oh, it doesn't actually work like that. And mathematically, I fully understand it doesn't work like that, right? Reducing something by 6% and then reducing it by 10%, you can do it in either order because multiplication is commutative, which is to say you can move the terms in the equation across when they are multiplicants of one another and it will still have the same result. However, that's not what's happening here. In this game, when you sell a cooldown item to reduce the cooldown of other items, those other items have their current cooldown snapshotted, and then a percentage is removed from their current cooldown as a static number. And then you put it back into the environment where it was otherwise already getting 20% reduced cooldown. So for instance, I can either take 6% off of 5.6, or I can take it off of 7.0 if I put it in my inventory. 6% of 7.0 is very obviously larger than 6% of 5.6. And because it snapshots and sets the reduction at this point, fielding it after, so that I avoid a reduced cooldown AoE on it, is better. There is direct proof of this. I'll link the video. It was recorded by Rarash, actually, who's collected the most chests in the pre-beta season of the game. It's a video that proves the way that this mechanic works very specifically. I'll include that in the description down below. Very much thanks to Rarash, of course, for having done that. I fully understand. Yes, multiplication is usually commutative, but this snapshot's an effect, okay? We all get it? We're all on the same side here? Good. Let's do it. So how do we do it here? I want everything off board that I care about. I think I've got to get rid of the Illuso Ray. And this is difficult because Captain's Wheel also... I guess that can go on board. There we go. So I think I have to keep these two on board because I want to reduce the cooldown of all of the things in the inventory, and none of them currently have cooldown reduction applied to them, including the Captain's Wheel because it doesn't see a vehicle or a large item, even though it's in the backpack because its passive's not available to trigger from backpack. So now I sell the feather, getting our reductions, and then I'll field the items. Grand. I'm 100% going for the Awakened District. We do so much damage so quickly, and we also slow. Like, the Awakened District should have a really hard time with us. Also, I will say we could get an additional haste out of each of our water wheels. Fiery Shark Ray will literally be twice as fast as soon as I get the damage upgrade.
Waste of gunpowder.
Ooh, Solar District. Shield equal to your current health and then deal damage equal to your shield.
Tyrant's whole kingdom.
Gold tier ammo item. It was gold tier ammo. Oh my god, another feather. I'm so glad we got the Solar District as well because I really do need money right now. You go on field, you off field, you go off field. It's those two. Bazaar. Grand. Down to 4.9. 7.1 on the Clamora. Even if it wasn't on board, it's usually 10 seconds. It's 8.8 at the moment. Oh. Nautica, you sell aquatic items.
Hey, it's
Please
my favorite
upgrade my
game
shark
leader.
ray. I don't know about that. Pufferfish, when you haste, charges 2 seconds. It poisons. I do have final dose. I do have improved toxins. This would go quite quickly against the enemy. However, it will take a long time for poison to deal lethal damage to the enemy, whereas the fiery shark ray will bite them in half. Also, this can continue getting upgraded. This gets better. That was the best the pufferfish ever could have been, and it still wasn't going to be good enough.
You don't want the whirly thing? Or the clanger?
Toxlock, say slow and cooldown items. I'm going here largely for... Actually, I do believe Shark Ray is considered a haste item for the sake of that. Going here largely for
I
Clamora,
was
though.
expecting you 0.5 seconds ago.
Damn. Large property aquatic lighthouse. No. No, we're so invested in this other board. Silencer to reduce the cooldown of Shark Ray by another 30%, though. That's difficult. Let's have some considerations about this, though. So obviously the Fiery Shark Ray needs to be hit by the Captain's Wheel. Captain's Wheel's 1.8 seconds into the fight, so it's triggering very quickly. We could do something like this, maybe? And then literally Silencer just for reducing the cooldown. 3.5 second Shark Ray. Honestly? Yeah, this is it. The Captain... I just need the Shark Ray to get upgraded. Please, please, please. Damn it. Figurehead, even more reduced cooldown. Wow. I don't think that really is as good as the multicast, though. Literally, it would have to reduce their cooldown by 50%. Obviously, it's a smaller size, but still.
My fight isn't.
Alright, let's see what this super person can do.
Insist.
What are your superpowers, super person? Ah, bugs. Bugs is your power. Yes. Eat the bugs. Nom, and chomp. These bugs are, by the way, I think I have gone through these in an episode, but I will note they synergize with one another, and they are very powerful. Blue Beetle, when an adjacent item poisons, charges 1 second. And then adjacent to that is Green Wasp, which poisons. When an adjacent item slows or freezes, charges 1 second. It's between an item that slows and an item that freezes. And all of them charge one another, and it's pretty insane, and all of them give a lot of charges to the Turbo Power Drill Aim. Oh my god, warm hugs. Every time they used a friend, they also burnt. I am very surprised that we did not perish there. I think that's a good case for the strength of our builds. Kina sells non-weapon items. Admittedly, I do care about some non-weapon item upgrades. I don't think damn is one of them. Destroy this and all smaller items for the fight. Clamora is actually the one I care about most. Thank you. Can I have a curio shop, please? Oh,
All of
Monica.
this is like a gift from the sea. Scrape off the barnacles. Good as new.
I'll take the Clapton's Wheel upgrade. I also recognize it's almost entirely irrelevant. Turtle Shell. When you use another non-weapon, chances 1 second. And shield 25. Your shield items gain 10 shield for the fight. Obviously, that Pearl, Water Wheel, that forms like a defensive core. The only thing is, this game doesn't really have much time for defensive cores right now, I'm finding. Upgrade an item. I do believe that Fiery Shock Ray is the be-all, end-all here. Like, the upgrade literally doubles its damage scaling. It's absurd. Lord Arkan. Oh, Lord Arkan. If you drop a Arkan's Ring for me, I will actually be able to survive another hit. We do kill real quickly here. We're going to start running into people who freeze our stuff, though, which is going to be annoying. Thrusters, Jason items are cooldown reduced by 12%. Middle sells medium items, which does include my Shock Ray.
I'll help you find who does.
It theoretically could have. There's the Elemental Depth Charge. I think we're a little late to pivot towards the Elemental Depth Charge, though. Yeah, we totally are. I entertained it for a couple of milliseconds there. I shouldn't have done so.
Someone else finds it. It all works out.
Midsworth. Sell small and large items, or just get an aquatic. Alright, Midsworth, show me Clamora! Okay, we're slowing 8 items at the start of the fight for 1 second. Beautiful. That will buy us a lot more time.
Ride that tide!
C4 teaching ammo skills. Realistically, only reloading dive weights is super important to me right now, but even then, dive weights doesn't really have time to run out of its ammo before we're, like, finishing fights. Adira and Malafang. I'm gonna hit up Adira and look for something really good.
I simply acknowledge the fact of my greatness.
First 10 times you poison each fight, charge a burn item. That's not helpful. Rightmost burn item has +8. No. First 10 times use a tool each fight, slow an item 1 second. So dive weights and Captain's Wheel are both tools. They will be slowing items with that. I don't have freeze, so having some additional slow as I keep going might actually be a really good idea. Also, it means if I ever find anything that says when you slow, I know that my slows are going to trigger... Well, I was already going to take anything that says when you slow, courtesy of having the Clamora going off twice at the start of the fight, but slowing 8 targets. Ooh, that's a lot of skills. Oh dear, they have first time you fall below half health each fight, use your friends, and their board is full of friends. They big froze my stuff in response. Oh, our burn is running out of time. No! They beat us. That's so annoying. They kept freezing the Shark Ray there. Literally, if it just got off one more attack, we would have been completely fine. Dang. Alright, we lost our safety.
This now.
Poison.
Follow it to your future.
I don't think giving any of these the ability to poison the enemy is going to change anything for us. I think the most impactful change for us is either it's a shiny upgrade on Silencer for the Shark Ray, which is it's not going to happen. Or possibly hitting
Space
like
is my canvas.
haste or even
Time is
slow.
my paint.
God forbid shiny or freeze or shipper. Heal.
I won't fall. My people need me.
It's not nothing. It is close.
All things in moderation. Happy to exploit.
Midsworth immediately upgrades our weights for us. There's the boulder. Deal damage equal to your enemy's max HP. Unfortunately, it is not an aquatic item. I could make it pretty fast with the silencer. Lower its cooldown again with thrusters. It'd eventually get to 100% crit chance if I had the right items on the board. I worry maybe I'm late game enough that if I don't do this, I lose. Like, what if I'm supposed to go... Oh, I don't need both of those. You're also not a vehicle. Oh, no, it would see a large item. It would see the boulder. That's fine. So, like, that. 1.8 seconds into the fight, it starts hasting the boulder. The boulder would have a cooldown reduced by 12% and 30%. Those two are commutative because they're both auras. Neither of them snapshot the effect. So 16 times 0.7 times 0.88 is 12%. Yeah, that takes it down to a 9.85 second cooldown. I do haste a decent amount of times. Slightly concerned that it might actually need a reload. It's getting additional crit chance constantly every time I haste. But I'm also not hasting as much as I was previously. I basically have to sell my build to even try it. Water wheel has to be sold. And then I still need another 12 somewhere. Which, like, I don't have the ability to sell Shark Ray. I think what currently beats Shark Ray is freeze. And I think if the boulder is on board, I still get beaten by that same freeze. Mantis Shrimp, when you slow this, gain 20 damage for the fight and 3 burn for the fight, which actually we slow like a lot of times. This would have 30% reduced cooldown on top of another 20% reduced cooldown from Barnacle Crusted. What are you, 9 seconds by default? So 9 by 0.7. Wait, hang on, this was 30%, right? Yeah, 0.7. And times 0.8 as well. Gets down to a 5.0. And it sees 8 slows immediately. And every time its all goes off, it sees another slow. So 8 slows is 160 additional damage, is 24 additional burn on top of that. This also has multicast. I think the real reason for that to be on board is if I... is if I think I'm generating more haste, more slow triggers than I am haste. Which I am. At least at fight start. Fight start, we send out 8. We have another 5 and 2 that come in quite quickly before the Mantis Shrimp goes off, so... and then the Clamourer goes off for another 8 soon thereafter. So 8, 5, 2, 15, 15, 20, 300 additional damage. I don't see the Mantis Shrimp doing it by itself. That said, I will hold on to it.
That's how it's done.
Because I could absolutely see a world in which it does have the support to do that. And also, it's only an 8 gold investment to hold in the bank at the moment. Like, that's not... by comparison, that's not particularly large. Awakened District, you are going down again. I just don't see the Mantis Shrimp doing significantly more than that.
Pathetic. As spineless as a jellyfish.
12 slows. We would have gotten our full 10 out of the Sabotage. So 22 additional. 22 additional is 440, as well as 66 burn. 440 damage as well as 66 burn on it by the end of the fight. And it goes off slightly less fast than Fiery Shark Ray. Yeah, no, it makes no sense. Landscaper.
Now this is how you win a war.
Definitely going gold tier loot. Definitely looking for cooldown reduction. Definitely looking for the feather. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Look, Vial of Blood for 2 experience. We don't turn that down, especially if we get another Vial of Blood. Damn, we do. Oh, we also get 9% cooldown reduction. Get 4 experience here. I don't think I can. I don't think I can go another Vial of Blood here. It would have to be gold. Sorry, diamond tier. And then, even then, I'm not getting level 16 before the next turnover. Yeah, I can't do that. Unfortunately, Insect Wing only affects items on board, so the most I can lower the cooldown of Shark Ray, or most I can increase, rather, the cooldown of Shark Ray, is just by taking the Silencer off board. Down to 3.2. Love to see it.
Come on in. Let's chat.
No. Goodbye.
That's okay. It was nice to see you.
Oh, it was lovely to see you as well. OT show. I haven't seen a single curio this entire fight, and I'm pretty sad about it because at this point I would be perma-slowing enemy items from the very start of the fight if I had. Oh god, this looks diabolical. I don't know what it does, but I hope I never have to find out.
Every failed experiment lights the path to success.
Okay. So it looks like they buffed up a Philosopher's Stone insanely by transforming a bunch of reagents. Also, Calcinator got upgraded at the same time, so this has got a giant amount of burn, and Philosopher's Stone has got a giant amount of regen. Where did they even get their regen from? Literally nothing's activated. So they got 294 regen outside of fights. Specifically through... I mean, the only way that they could have gotten is through Tome of Yahan? Really? Tome of Yahan and Sifting Pan and stuff like that? Heavy Dragon Heart. When you burn or use a dragon item, charges 2 seconds. It doubles the burn of an item for the fight. Look at the Sunlight Spear, the Claw, and the Calcinator. They absolutely would have killed me as soon as, like, burn is on me. It's just insane. Sunlight Spear. This deals damage equal to the regeneration and burn on both players. Burn equal to your regeneration. This was showing a bunch of damage in the middle of the fight. And Shielded Soul Ring. Poison equal to your regeneration, which is 294. And then shield equal to 10 times that. I am so glad that I slowed them and killed them before they did anything. That would have been a nightmare. OT show. Respect, buddy. Gotta go to Isla until the Shark Ray's higher tier. Obelisk does scale better with damage, but I would also have to reload it, and also it doesn't have a aquatic, so it doesn't even get a multicast. So it scales better, but it is worse.
Come with no weapons, leave with big bargains.
Yeah, Keen, I'm gonna be honest. I came to your shop knowing I didn't want anything that you sell.
Rally, men! Blades to the wind!
The Restorative Shipwreck upgrade is only 10% more crit chance to all of our aquatic items, whereas this is another 20 scaling.
Yes, I will dance with you.
The Outlander way is truth. Someday you will see.
Big damage. Magic Carpet, when you crit, reduces times cooldown by 1 second for the fight. I will say, that would eventually be very fast. I'll take Jules Cafe for additional HP right here, because I do... I don't feel like anything else really helps me right now, I guess. best way to express that. Let me get Cache of Riches to set us up for maybe going for something more expensive next floor, because again, I don't think anything there would have helped me that much. Level 18. Good lord. I also haven't gotten many Mountain Pass fights, or even just many extra fights so far. I've missed out on Curio, no Mountain Passes, very few Deadly Duels. I'm much lower on experience than I want to be. No, they have death prevention as well as another death prevention in Fiery Rebirth. Oh, it doesn't matter! So much damage and so much burn. Shield is Staff of the Moose. First time you fall below half health each fight, you take no damage for 2 seconds and gain 75 regen for the fight, and also Fiery Rebirth. The first time you would die each fight, heal to full. Managing to push past both of those feels good. Bjorn teaches free skills. Realistically, yes.
Can I help you?
First time you crit, no. When you freeze, no. When you freeze, no. There you go. First time you haste each fight. Freeze and iron 3 seconds. Creeping chill would only do it for 2 seconds. And I do haste at start of fight already. Courtesy of Rigged. I mean, I'll feel real silly if it turns out 100 extra HP really would have done the deal. I don't think Water Wheel's ever going back on board. I'm going to give it up. There is some benefit available there that I should go and get, even if I don't think any of these other spaces make me more powerful right now. I don't shield in combat at all, which is really unfortunate because
for us, it's a job.
Shielding in combat and then Cryo Mastery triggering freeze off of it is so powerful. Cryo Mastery saying the first 3 times you shield each fight, freeze an item for 1 second.
Target is resisting.
Alright, this will be our last day no matter what. Icebreaker. When any item gains freeze, charges 2 seconds, and when this item gains freeze, remove freeze from it. When it goes off, remove freeze from all of your items. It's not bad, but I would really have to expect that I'm specifically going to be locked down before any of my items go off by the enemy with freeze for it to be relevant, and that's a lot of little modifiers I had to add there. Let's relax for 1700 HP before the next fight. I'll hit up Bazaar for experience that is not relevant. Oh, gold tier gunpowder plus ammo for the dive weights. Honestly? Yeah. Gives it 2 more multicast. Alright, the original, it's you and I. Just in case any of those are relevant to the thumbnail. I mean, those plus a bunch of feathers. Oh, I really should have zoomed in on a feather earlier.
We're out to dethrone a king, not to squabble with nobodies.
Ooh. Damn. Calling Mac a nobody right to his face. Turbo Bobby Field and a bunch of weapons. I'm very glad I'm slowing you at the start of the combat. Get him. Hell yeah. Alright. Yeah, I'm pretty confident that keeping Sharkray was the right play. In retrospect here. I'll happily collect my 10. It doesn't have to be a 10 and 0. It's a 10. That counts as far as I'm considering it. These don't overlap anymore, by the way. I didn't even notice that I hadn't noticed that happening in a while. I'm so pleased. Now, oh my god. Yeah, there we go. Now if medium items wouldn't also have that behind them, I'd be over the absolute moon. Augmented defenses. 25 additional shield for a poppy that's not, sorry, a poppy, a, Pearl. It's not on field. We've escaped containment from Gold 3 all the way into Gold 2. And as you can see, we are getting towards the level up where we are going to get the crew. An additional 10 cards for Vanessa that I am very excited to see. I think there's so many cool things you can do with so many pieces of them. We'll explore that at some point in the future. For the moment, though, you better believe my name's been Rhapsody, and the name of the game has been Bazaar. Top left is the series playlist for all of the content of the game, past, present, and future. YouTube recommendations down below. Streaming paths are the names of the people who are eternally supporting the Republic on patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays. At or above the thank tier, and a special thanks this episode to Jazzy. Hopefully you'll be enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you all next time.